trust you are doing well. I saw a story today and it really just kind of struck home, and I thought that I would share it with you. And it's from Zero Hedge talking about rising thefts and how it is a symptom of deeper moral decay. And, it really just struck a chord with me as we are witnessing Western society as a whole. And it's not just in the US, but this feeling of decline in our morals and family institution and structure. So, again, it's just struck a chord with me, and I thought I'd share it with you. Stealing deprives the right to property that does not belong to a thief. It's a pretty easy concept. In a civil society, people don't steal from each other. This begs the question of how civilized societies are giving the alarming and chilling statistics from our major supermarkets and stores showing theft, or what's also called stock loss, is exploding. Both in the United States, Canada, Australia's major grocery retailers have detailed the big hit that they are taking from those in the community who believe that they have the right to steal products. And I'm sure we've all seen this kind of mindset where it is socially acceptable for one person to steal from these corporations. And, I remember years ago, it was getting pretty popular for people to say, oh, don't worry about it. Insurance will deal with it. Insurance will deal with it. But of course, that's driving up costs as well. And if you ever had to deal with insurance companies, you know that battle can be equally as brutal. For example, in Australia, Woolworths or the company Coles, along with other smaller businesses, are suffering at the hands of shoplifters. They all report that the thefts have diminished their potential profits. The reasons for this increase in theft are, as it is with most things, multifaceted. Cost of living and reluctance to prosecute, and self-service booths enhancing the temptation are some of the few factors that spring into mind, along with lower staffing levels. The company Kohl's reported a 20% increase in theft, or also called stock losses. Disturbingly, Kohl's pointed to organized crime, especially in the non-food areas of the retail empire. To combat the trend of thieving, retailers are installing more CCTV circuitry and scanning mechanisms. Others are requiring people exiting self-service areas to display the receipts for a quick appraisal. This article is saying that virtues are the greatest crime stopper. And I don't know about you, whether or not, and you know what, guys, let me just adjust my camera here. Bear with me for a moment. I don't know about you, but put a 1 in the comment section. Put a 1 in the comment section if you think that virtues and moral and the nuclear family and fathers being active in their family's home is important. Put 2 in the comment section if you think more CCTV cameras, more laws being passed are actually going to help the situation. I digress. Moving on. In all the discussions about the increased stealing and countermeasures to combat this epidemic, very little has been mentioned about the moral well-being of Western society. There can be no doubt that the increase in shoplifting is a symptom of a much deeper issue that resides in the souls of the population, where there is no sense of aspect to life, and the whole me first ideology prevail to the detriment of our fellow citizens. Theft from supermarkets is a crime. It also deprives the owners of their property. It also results in higher prices for fellow shoppers and businesses to try to claim back those losses. Well, of course, it brings an increase in price. Sure, the insurance company may handle it. Maybe the company will absorb those costs, but inherently, you and I, the consumers, are going to pay for it. A well-honed conscience would find such behavior disturbing, and of course, rightly so. The failure to teach and promote virtues of honesty, amongst other virtues, seeps through into everyday behavior in societal interactions. Materialism dulls the senses to what might be right or wrong, informed by an authority greater than immediate gratification. The detriment of a person's moral conduct is rooted in their belief system. The threat of being caught and punished is a deterrent, but if the threat is not present at a particular time, the deterrence is lost. Its impact and behavior is not modified. However, having an ingrained belief system guiding ethical and social behavior, including respect for private property, will consistently guide behavior irrespective of CCTV and checking of receipts. I watched a video earlier today, guys, and I find this extremely disturbing. A video in Chicago, and it happened just yesterday, where three children, and I'm guessing their age, three children, maybe the ages of 12, maybe 13, or even younger, rob a grown man, of his bike, and that happened at Grand and Homan in Chicago. These three children approached an adult male and robbed that man of his bike. I'll repost that video on my Twitter at IPAC Instructor. What's equally disturbing is the fact that the person who was recording the video from the safety of their vehicle had nothing to really say regarding it. They should have been calling the police. They cropped out the offenders' faces, though it was in there briefly. Essentially, the offenders' faces were cropped out. I mean, just this weekend alone in Chicago, we had over 30 robberies and carjacking. Folks, this is not normal. And if you disagree with my thought of a moral decay in our society, then what is the solution? What solution might we bring to the table in order to combat it? In fact, one of the robberies, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this, one of the robberies that took place out of the 30 over the weekend was a news crew. For the second time, a news crew was robbed when they were reporting on robberies in Chicago. We're seeing smash and grabs skyrocket from Macy's in California, Chicago, New York, where it's this mentality that it's okay for a large group of individuals. Back in the day, it would be one or two people, maybe rob a joint. Now these are big numbers, big groups of people that are robbing. I mean, how about the normalcy bias or not getting involved? And that's what we're being taught. How about the woman, I forget, it was either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, where there was a woman who was assaulted, criminal sexual assault on a train, and other folks that were inside the train had absolutely no recourse. They didn't do anything to help this victim. I find this to be quite concerning, folks, and I believe many of you do as well. And it is of my thought that it has to do with the decay of morals in our society. And I don't know about you, but for me, I am a staunch Christian. And I think that a lot of it has to do with lack of families coming together and lack of religion in our lives. Well, moving on, I digress. While stealing has always been a part of our society, the prevalence of it may be an expression of our education system and society generally discounting the importance, I was just talking about this, of religious education and guidance for our youth in particular. Without their constant teaching of moral values becoming less sustainable, those broad societal ethics will not be preserved unless they are continually taught. This is coming out of Australia, and the Melbourne Declaration stressed the importance of spiritual development of young Australians in ensuring the nation's ongoing prosperity and social cohesion. Societies that ignore these matters are at its own peril. Our supermarket bosses might reflect and consider allocating shareholders' money for that is what it is to wholesome causes promoting social and societal virtues rather than divisive causes. It will keep the costs of doing business down and return shareholders' monies up while avoiding consumer boycotts. Just a thought. Just a thought. Again, folks, it's just kind of struck a chord with me. You guys have known me for many, many years now, and I've reported on issues that we have had, and we always want hope or wish for hope at the end of this tunnel. But unfortunately, it does not seem to be getting better. So again, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. I know it's a bit of a different video, but again, it was just kind of tugging at my heart to kind of briefly discuss this. I think we need to install a moral guidance system, especially with our young people. And I think it has to do with the good folk, the salt of the earth, talking and engaging with young people, and teaching them and guiding them in the ways in which they ought to go. And that is being a good citizen and enriching our communities and those that we come in contact with. Folks, by the way, if you wish to help support this channel, you can always give it a thumbs up, put a comment in the section, subscribe, hit the bell notification as it wakes up the algorithm. My last several videos have done very well regarding the Illinois assault weapons ban and what's going on with that. I will continue to give you guys updates, so your support is appreciated. Also, you'll see in the description a free gun laws guide. Again, that directly helps out this channel as well. Folks, I love you. I thank you. I pack out.